Well, live from Philadelphia, it's Mr. Pritchard's art room. Well, welcome back to the art room, or my kitchen. Well, we're doing a little bit of summer artwork. What? We're not teaching? Well, what are we doing? Political commercials? Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm Sean Pritchard, and I approve this message. I just want to teach some art, have some fun. Let's do some art. What? You want to do a sitcom? A sitcom? You mean one with like a laugh track? What? What is it about? About an art teacher that's quarantined? That doesn't even seem... What? You made a theme song? Let's check it out. Let's teach some art. Well, I hope everybody is well and safe. Let's have some fun today with some art. This is usually an art project I do with 8th grade. Occasionally, I show it to younger grades to teach them. So what we're going to do today is 1-point perspective. Well, what is 1-point perspective? In this photograph, everything is kind of going back almost to like a dot towards the middle inside this photograph. So for drawing, it makes a more realistic style of art. Same idea with this hallway. Picture a dot and all the lines going towards that dot. Getting interesting? The way I think about 1-point perspective is this endless road, or they call a vanishing point, because it goes to that V shape all the way to the dot. Now remember, it's 1-point perspective, so it's only got 1 point. Now, does 1-point perspective have to be similar to these images of the hallways, the roads, sidewalk? No. We're going to be trying a landscape though. But 1-point perspective can also be cars. Now, we did a car lesson early on in our homeschool projects. Well, this is more like what we're going to be working on today. We're going to have a dot, and the buildings and everything are going to go towards it. Got that vanishing point low, but it almost has an X from the corners going towards the center. Let's get started. Well, today for supplies, I'm going to be using pens. If you want to use a pencil, go ahead. I took out a bunch of pens, and the reason why I have different colors out, such as purple grape, red cherry, green mint, is that way I can show the steps. With a pencil, it's a little harder because I draw really heavy. All my lines look the same. I might start with green mint, and instead of erasing my mistakes, I'll draw over them with a darker pen. I'm using regular line paper. You might say, Mr. Pritchard, I don't like the lines. Well, just fold on that little red cherry line right there. There you go. It's gone. So one of the biggest things you have to learn when we're doing perspective is making sure everything goes back to those dots. Now, if you don't have a ruler, we can use that trick using 2 pens or 2 pencils and balancing on there. I love that trick that students have taught me. Let's show a little bit of this, how to get back to that. 1-point perspective is getting back to the dot. So if I had a line here, go back to the dot. If you need to, use your pencil or pen, that trick my students like to do, to line it up. Oh, there we go. Back to the dot. Maybe you're going on an angle. And as I said, these do not have to be landscapes. We made a car one time that it went back to the dot. 1-point perspective gives it those sides back to the dots. Now the biggest difference with the vanishing point gets smaller as you get closer to that. Make it into a floor. Look at that mistake. Oops. And that's why I should have started with a lighter color. Remember, everything goes to the dot. If it's over here, let's go to a lighter color. That side. Maybe it's right here. Going to the dot. Stop it here. Make it into a chair. I'll put a chair back here covering the dot. Get some other legs back here. Getting the idea? Well, let's get started on our final one. So I'm going to be using a pen today just because I want different colors to represent stages. If you want to use a pencil, go ahead. I'm going to try to find the center of the paper. I'm just going to imagine this is the center. I'm estimating here, then down. And this is where I'm going to put my dot. I'm going to switch. Now I have to make an X. Try your best to go to the corners of your paper. If you need to use that pencil pen trick as a roller, go ahead. Looks pretty good. Try it without it. Resting my hand on the paper so it tries to make it straight. Sometimes it's easier to do it as a checkered. If you make a mistake, there's less to fix. Yeah, I didn't make it. That's better. Now again, I made this in a light green mint because this is going to get erased later. Now on this side of the paper, I'm going to make a straight line and a straight line. Spaced it out a little bit, about 1 inch, the length of half my thumb. I'm going to do another one up here. This one I'm going to make a little wider. longer than an inch, inch and a half. Man, my lines are sloppy. Good thing I started in a lighter color. I'm going to go in with the darker and make those 4 lines darker now because I know I want them permanent. Try to take my time here, fix how crooked this line is. I am out of practice since we haven't been in school. Now I'm also going to do the bottom and the top. Now, this down here will be the road and the sidewalk and the crosswalk. These are my buildings or the town, and up here will be the sky. Alright, let's go to the one closest to the edge of the paper. I'm going to go to the bottom and go over to the edge of the paper. Got rid of that X to the corner. I'll go up to the top, and I'll go over straight to the edge. There's one building. Now I have to go over here. Now a lot of students, what they do is they go to the smaller part of the building and go over from here. So they do something like this. And they always go, Mr. Pritchard, it doesn't look right. Yeah, should have went down here. Big difference. Now you got 2 buildings. Make it darker now. I got a little crooked, didn't it? Sorry about that. So there's 1, and there's 2 buildings. I don't have to make all this stuff dark unless I want this to be the sidewalk. Yeah, you know what? I'll keep some of it as the sidewalk. And then I'll take another back to the dot. There's my sidewalk. Put the little breaks in it between the different layers of cement and concrete. All right. Now on this side, I'm going to do something a little different. This side, all the buildings are going to be attached. So I'm going to start by drawing straight lines. Let's do one more here. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with the darker color, the black. Yep, still sloppy. I'm refusing to use the other pen as a ruler. You know, the sad part is my paper has blue lines on it that I could be using, but pretty sloppy today. All the fingerprints all over there too. Let's do the top. And let's do the bottom. Now these are all attached. Similar to a row house that there is no in-between space. These are separate. A person could go between these 2 buildings over here too. Let's get ourselves a door on this big building over here. I'm going to go up, back to that dot from the top. So it's going. And I'll go back down. Maybe this is a big business, so it's a double door. Go over here and do the same. Up. Now it might go down a little bit to the dot, depending where it is on the drawing. Single door. Over here we'll put a door too. Now these will just be straight up and down. We'll put a double door on this side. Windows, same deal. Let's do a big window here. Up to the dot. To the dot. Another big window here. To the dot. To the dot. So the sides are straight. It's the top and bottom that go to the dot. Let's do one set of windows here. To the dot, top and bottom. Make this window panes. Maybe there's a couple regular windows over here too. Straight box. Over here, same idea. Straight, straight. This side is straight. This side is the side going to the angle. If there's a name of a store on here, well, I like to give myself a box first so I can tell how the letters will get smaller. The letters will be inside of this box, and they'll get smaller as they go towards that way, and they'll follow that angle. Not necessarily smaller, I should say, but keep that angle. Sometimes when students want to put signs, they end up going straight like this, and I always go, that don't look right, because the windows here go on that angle, and so does the door. Door's going there, there, and all of a sudden this is going straight. No, it needs to go on that angle. And you could always erase that box later on. Let's give ourselves the vanishing point. We'll give some directions for the road. Maybe we'll put a crosswalk down here. So I'll put the little lines for the crosswalks. I'm just getting sloppy here. You have to excuse me. Put a little box there for the crosswalk sign. A little one over here for the crosswalk sign. Even these go to the dot. The sides do go up and down. The top and bottom go to the dot. It's hard to see with me covering it with the other building. This side doesn't have sidewalk. It does now. Now this one, still go to the dot with the windows and doors. If you want to cheat, here's a way to cheat. You could technically do them all at once. Did the whole top at once, and then go in here and, oh, okay, there it is, and there it is, and there it is. That one got sloppy. There it is. Same thing with the windows. And you can, oh, there's a set of windows. So the top and bottom are done. Do another set here. You could do another set here. Let's put a little straight line here. This building has a side to it. We'll put one part of a window in there. Now, this part's up to you. Sometimes students like putting like a bridge here, like a tunnel. Bridge, tunnel. Some students like to put the sunset or sunrise here. That's what I'll put in today. Maybe a couple clouds behind the houses and the business. This looks like a big business building. These are more houses. If you want, these could go up to points. That's up to you. Maybe you want to do something like that. Well, you getting the idea? Things are going to the dot. That car. Decided to put the car in there. Dot, dot. See how it almost looks like action lines. Tire, tire. Same thing over here. Pritchards, you're going too fast. So remember, the closer you get to the viewer, this car here should be bigger than this car. If there's one over here, it might be about that big. It gets smaller the further away from the viewer. The viewer is the closest to the edge of the paper. Same deal if I had a person on the sidewalk here. Let's just picture this as a person. Person here would be bigger than the person here just because it's closer to the edge of the paper towards the viewer. person's over here even smaller. There it is. I did a little bit more work on it. Added a few more windows. 3 rows of them. And I also put a little bit of brickwork here. Now what I find interesting about the bricks is they go with that dot. The one side, they stay straight. This side, which is similar to how this door is straight and the windows are straight here. But on the side that has the angles, it follows it. They're up here, the bricks would go to the dot. And they start turning, almost like hands of a clock. I really hope you guys had fun today. I wanted to do something a little different, relaxing, and stay in practice with drawing. And I hope everyone's safe and well. And until next time, stay creative. I'm Sean Pritchard, and I approve this message.